Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. My name is Rich Tehrani. On the program today is Hunter Newby, who is the founder and CEO of Allied Fiber. Hello, Hunter. How are you?
Great, Rich. Great to see you.
Welcome back. You may be our most popular guest.
Oh, really?
Well, you've been on, I think, more than anyone else.
Well, if popularity is determined by frequency of appearances, then I am definitely the most popular. I don't know if the watchers believe that, but that's for sure.
I'm sure they will. So you're building a long-haul fiber network, one of the longest haul, if not the longest haul, in the U.S. right now. So tell us, it goes from where to where right now?
Our phase one is New York to Chicago through Harrisburg, PA, and then down into Ashburn, Virginia. And it's long haul, but it's also a combination of short haul with a parallel duct system and neutral co-location facilities for interconnection, not data center type server space, every 60 miles. And it also integrates wireless towers along the route.
So this is important for a number of reasons, this development, because there is an unbelievable explosion of bandwidth need all around the country. It's needed not only by companies, by consumers, but the consumers also need it wirelessly, and subsequently the carriers need to have fiber going to wireless towers to power their not only their 3G networks, but their 4G networks, especially as a proliferation of tablet devices and other laptop connect type cards flood the market.
That's
so
correct.
The opportunity is, in a nutshell, to supply all of that bandwidth with fiber in places that are relatively densely populated.
We play a role in getting a main artery of fiber brought out and through major and minor markets, and through our design, we provide for access to that main artery. So we have an abundance of fiber. It's all leased as dark. We treat this as a real estate business, and due to our design, we can allow for intercept on a lateral basis and on a sub-tending ring basis to fiber to towers that currently are unserved. Also, as it relates to that, accessing rural networks that currently exist, ILECs and RLECs and MSOs, small cable companies, and data centers as well.
And really you're also including virtually unheard of and flexibility in terms of customers coming to you now are able to choose fiber types and choose other decisions in terms of what you're making, or help you with the decisions you're making in your network management as they become customers of the dark fiber on this long haul network.
That's correct. We're in a phase right now, what we call the window of opportunity, where we're collecting the customer's information, the data, and certain customers we're treating as what we call a co-build. So their request for fiber is so large, it's not a common request, that we are going to be able to customize their requirement, the fiber type, where they'd like to splice, where they want to put equipment in our facilities, and how much equipment they need, which equates to how many cabinets or racks they need, and the power type, and the amount. And customizing a long-haul system with access to short-haul fiber to towers and data centers and such on this basis is highly unique, especially at the price points that they can reach by doing it with us, since we're doing it with so many other entities at the same time.
Sure, and there's also the potential, I'm going to throw out one market, the high-frequency trading market, where this can be the difference between making a lot of money and just being ahead of the pack, or just being in the pack.
Yeah, that's a component of what we're doing, not a big component, actually. There are a lot of folks that just in that community want to buy a lit service. Some want to buy dark fiber and light it themselves, but typically those are providers to financial trading firms. And we see that, but that's really just a fraction of what we see. Really a high growth area for us is supporting the data center requirements and the expansion of data center requirements for second, third, and fourth tier markets and the places in between where the hospitals, the schools, the state government, the different entities, office parks, enterprises, they have server requirements that are currently being met in their basement or in their phone closet, and they have a proximity issue with their IT staff being local, and they have a detachment issue where they don't want to outsource that to some facility that's states away, and they want to have their server co-location close to them. Allied Fiber doesn't do that in our colos because ours are interconnect colos, or essentially meet-me rooms. But there's an interesting dimension that's being developed from another aspect of the industry, which is the container data center. And container data center operators, actually co-location operators within containers, are now looking at placing these structures along the Allied Fiber route because of the ability to tap into the short-haul duct. That provides physical access to fiber, and then it becomes very easy to move the container laterally along the route to find where the power is available. So that's just starting to emerge right now.
And
as
that
a
reduces
huge demand
cost
set.
for the end
Tremendously.
user, and in some cases it's not even possible to get fiber. So it not only reduces cost, but it actually makes it accessible in some cases.
Yeah,
So-
the advent of the Allied fiber route and its design provides for this dimension to occur.
Awesome.
So these containers can now be placed on the route or adjacent property where a diverse fiber lateral trench could be built into our short haul duct and or one of our colo facilities. And these containers are essentially incremental data center space with high density power and cooling, but for exactly the number of cabinets that that particular user needs. They don't need a 500,000 foot or a million foot data center built. They need 20 or 30 cabinets at high density, megawatt, 2 megawatt, 3 megawatt. In some of these container clusters is possible. And with a lot of the utility companies out there sitting on excess capacity in places where there's currently no draw, because there is no fiber, there are no data centers. This changes that dynamic.
How do companies find out more?
Well, we're working with a couple of different firms. One is sort of in the preliminary stages, but they've announced their own product, and I could probably reference that. It's a company called IO Data Centers, I/O, and they're out in Phoenix, Arizona. And I actually know one of the guys that works there really well, Tony Wanger, and he's a friend of mine for years. And I met with their CEO and CFO actually yesterday at a conference. They've announced a product called IO Anywhere, which is a mobile containerized data center product where they will literally fit out the whole container and put it wherever the enterprise wants. And again, they need to triangulate that between power and fiber and then the property itself. But if it's within a certain proximity of where the enterprise is and it's comfortable for them and their IT staff and any requirements they have, HIPAA compliance, SARBOX compliance, radius type things, it becomes very convenient because they can have this whole thing fitted out with servers to meet the data storage and retrieval requirements of these entities. And in association with our fiber, they can get access to wholesale rates for transport at speeds that they need to operate their businesses.
Now, I'm a potential customer. How do I find out about your company?
AlliedFiber.com, that's probably the easiest way, or the dark fiber community on TMCnet,
TMCnet.
which is highly popular. Maybe as popular as me coming on your show.
It's a tab at the top that you can just click on. It says dark fiber. Well, Hunter, thanks as always. It was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Rich. It's
Thanks for
great.
being on the
Good
program.
seeing you again.